how's it going, everyone? In this episode, I'm gonna go ahead and put heater hoses. I cut them so I can make sure they were both the same size. So I got new heater hose. I'm gonna put that on. I hope those hose clamps are good because I don't think I got new ones. And then I'm gonna go ahead and run a fuel line from this 5-gallon fuel tank to the engine. Let's get this out of the way. And what else are we gonna do? After I do that, I'm gonna turn it on and let it warm up, and then I'll probably take the valve cover off, at least on the driver's side, and see if those valves are adjusted, and also clean all the corrode out from under there. And yeah, then we'll turn it back on and see how she does. So I'm gonna try to keep this a little more action-packed instead of having a lot of just showing me do the work. And let me know if you want to actually see the work or if you just want to see the results of the work. Maybe if we make these videos a little shorter and more action-packed, we'll get more viewers. This fuel can, this is where I was getting my fuel from. I'm just going to adapt this to be an overflow tank. I mean, it's already in a good location. I got the bungee cords on it, so why not use it, right? And if this engine is just going to continue to smoke and run weak, I'm still going to try to get it inspected, as long as it's not smoking too bad whenever it's warmed up. If I can't get it to run good enough, or I don't feel good about it, then unfortunately we're going to have to take that 350 out. And the option I have is this 305, which is a perfectly good motor, which is to say this motor is a good motor. It's not going to make a ton of horsepower, but it's going to be all right. It'll move the truck up and down the road better than a 350 that's running, you know, 2 or 3 cylinders weekly. You know, 2 or 3 cylinders that are kind of in the down status. I think that 305 is making more power than that 350 right now. So we're going to try to figure it out. It's got a bit, you know, 1 or 2 more chances here, and then I'm going to have to pull the 350 and say it's bad and get it rebuilt or rebuild it myself. Here you can see the new heater hoses. I haven't put any water in the radiator yet, but this is about where they'll be. I can zip tie them to this fender well, but I'm not going to do that just yet because I plan on taking those valve covers off and such. I think I'm going to go ahead and hook this PCV up and see if that cuts down on some of the smoking. It might even clear out enough of that oil getting by that the cylinders will run clean. I'm also thinking if I pull the valve cover off, I might see a whole bunch of corroded junk, and then the oil might not be going, you know, it might be filling the valve cover up with oil enough that it's coming down the valves instead of going back down the oil drain passages and the heads. So that might be another reason why this thing smokes a lot and it's fouling out those spark plugs. We'll get into it a little bit later. I'm gonna go ahead and put the fuel line down to the fuel pump and run it under the body to this tank back here, and then later when I buy a bigger tank, I'll have it also mounted into bed. Of course I'm gonna have to rip all this out to fix the bed, but you know, we just want to get this thing past inspection, and so we're gonna try to do that by Saturday, and today's Friday and it's already like 3 p.m. so we'll see. They close at 1 p.m. on Saturdays. So I might make it, I might not. All right, so we got this little line running to this repurposed gas can, which is going to be a catch can. And we are going to show you what you got down below as I go ahead and zip tie it. Anyways, we got the fuel line coming down through the frame here, over the hump, keep it away from this exhaust pipe. I still need to make a proper ground, although this bi-strip ground is pretty good. There goes our fuel line into the frame, and then it stays into the frame, and then it pokes out right here, and then I just got it looped around. And why did I loop it around? Because I didn't put a steel line here, and I'm going to zip tie this up. But and I'm not worried about the fuel getting hot. I mean, shoot, this radiator doesn't even run that hot. So anyways, we're not too worried about it. the fuel's gonna have gravity all the way to this point, putting pressure on the fuel pump. Anyways, that line wraps around here and goes into the fuel pump and then up to the tank as usual. I mean, up to the carburetor as usual. So I'm gonna go ahead and zip tie this stuff while I'm down here, and then I'm gonna put some fuel in the fuel tank and start this thing up and let it run for a while. I got the PCV hooked up. Let me show you that as well. I guess I'm getting out from under here. Forgot to show you. So we got the PCV plumbed into the carburetor. I think that's okay to plumb it in right there off the front. I'm planning on putting the brake booster off the back whenever I move it to power brakes. So we'll see how bad it smokes, and maybe it'll clear some of that smoke out. That's what I'm hoping. So I'll bring you back once the engine's running and off of fuel in that little 5-gallon gas tank in the rear, and we're gonna keep on plugging along here. Okay, I got gas in the gas tank. We're gonna go ahead and fire it up and see if we're leaking water or gasoline anywhere, and let it run for a little while. It's probably gonna smoke. Pay attention behind me. And if it smokes a little bit when it starts, that's normal, but if it burns that off and stops smoking, then maybe the PCV is making a difference. Also with the PCV hooked up, it might be a vacuum leak, so it might idle fast or it might not want to run. So we'll see what happens. Just pumping gas back up. Okay, we should be starting to pump some gas. Let me hit it with some carburetor cleaner, give it a little help. Yeah, those adjustments might be way off with that PCV hooked up. Let me see if we're getting any gas at least to the accelerator. Yeah, the accelerator is getting gas, so we should be able to get this baby to run. Let me richen it up a little bit, see if that's what it wants. I might have to adjust everything again, but that's a good problem to have if it's going to suck that smoke clean. I'm gonna let this thing idle for a while and warm up. I'm not seeing any serious fuel leaks right away, so that's good. And it's not smoking anymore, so I'm hoping those spark plugs will clear out. You can see the gas in there. All right, I'll bring you back after we figure some more stuff out, probably tune it up a little. Finally, we got this old light off. She's looking pretty terrible. Let me see if I can get it in the sun. You can see it's all watered up. So I got this LED on there. You can see it's lit up. I'll go turn it off so you can see it turn off and turn on. That should be visible. Oh yeah, I'm sure you can tell. I'm gonna turn it on and then off again. Okay, well, unfortunately, let's go over here. Well, unfortunately it's it's 4:51 and inspection place closes at 5. So that's all I can do today. I was gonna try to make it in time to get it inspected, but it is what it is. I'm gonna drive it around the block now if all my lights working and stuff, and just see if the vibrations mess anything up. Also to warm the engine up and see if it's gonna have any problems with the gas sloshing back there in that tank. I don't suspect that it will. Hopefully it'll stop smoking and run a little cleaner. And then I'm gonna come back and probably take that right front wheel off and see if I can tighten that bearing up. I'm a little bit worried about that coming loose. Maybe the little keeper on the nut isn't holding it in place. Anyways, I'll check that out. No need to bring out the camera for that one. It's just tightening a bearing, so I already did it once. But I just half-assed it, and so now I'm paying the price. So anyways, that'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Next up, we're gonna go ahead and get this thing inspected and start driving it.